Hello, and welcome to this collective and timeless reading. This is Eastar Tarot, and today we're going to be doing a collective reading to see just what messages that our ancestors, spirit guides, and guardian angels would like to bring in for us right now. And I've brought in a crystal today that is really beautiful. I recently got this. I had actually left it at the store before, and I kept thinking about it and thinking about it. And I was like, I gotta go back and get that little ball of amethyst. Uh, so I did, and it was still there. I was so happy. So I got my little amethyst sphere, and it's beautiful. Very helpful for intuition, amethyst. It can make you a little bit overstimulated too, though, hyperactive. Maybe even if you're struggling with insomnia, maybe scale back on the amethyst a bit, because this is really activating cyclically. Like when you put this on your third eye and you meditate with it, be prepared for things to happen because they certainly did for me when I first started doing this. Yeah, I actually placed it here, but it likes to roll away because it's so perfectly spherical. So I'm resting it on this nice piece of technical name I think is amandanite, but it's a little hard to remember. So sometimes it's called iris quartz or rainbow quartz. So I'm just resting on there, and look, it sits perfectly. It actually kind of looks like a little cloud with a little eye in it. Yeah, maybe that will come out in the reading somehow. But yeah, let's see what messages that you need to receive right now. There we go. Lithium quartz. Yeah, this is, that's so funny because we were talking about overstimulation. This is a card that indicates that sometimes we can get a little overstimulated, and it's important to scale things back when we feel like we're being overwhelmed, to refocus our intentions and goals. And it's a master number 33. That's very important. I don't know if you know Masons, but they're really big on the number 33. Excuse me. So I feel like maybe you're tapping into some gifts here. Psychic gifts. Yeah. Maybe you're becoming more in tune with that side of yourself. Yeah. Because the lithium quartz reminds us to seek clarity. Be mindful and seek clarity and enjoy the interconnectedness of life. And maybe if you're trying, you're getting more into your spiritual side, sometimes that can be, oh, there's a big bus that went by. It can be a little disconnecting from our relationships and our sense of self and our connection to the material. Maybe it's kind of like that bus. It just kind of, it's a big bus coming by. Like it's a lot of energy coming in. Yeah, you might be getting a lot of upgrades coming in, and you just have to be mindful of keeping things in harmony, keeping things in balance, because we don't want to become so up in our heads, so up in the higher chakras that we forget about the lower ones, right? Sodalite. These are stalker cards for sure for me. Sodalite, that's about sodalite is a crystal that helps us a lot with also our third eye, right? It's a good stone for dreaming as well, dream recall. But it's also about intentionality, being intentional with that energy, right? These are all about focus, about channeling that energy in the right way. Yeah. Yeah, and having clear intentions about what we want. So maybe if you're trying to get into a spiritual practice, make sure you're very intentional about it. Know what goals you have with it, because, yeah, sometimes the energy can just scatter. You know, a sphere, it's not like a point, like a tourmalated point. It the point, when a crystal has a point, it's focusing the energy that way. When it's in the sphere, it's in all directions at once, and that can be helpful. But sometimes it can also be like for enhancing it, but it can also be there's a lack of focus there, right? There's a lack of intentionality. It just goes in all directions. And maybe that's what you're doing right now. You're letting your energy scatter in all directions and not letting it have focus, not letting it be intentional. Sodalite is all about awareness, you know, psychic awareness, but, you know, we can also have just like awareness of our goals and our intentions, right? Selenite. Yeah, if we're connecting to the higher realms, because selenite is a very high vibrational crystal. It's all about connection to the divine, connection to spirit. And you know, it's a selenite. If there's one crystal you want to invest in, selenite, a selenite wand or a selenite tower would be excellent for giving yourself cleansing and clarity and charging all at once. Because selenite doesn't have to be cleansed. It doesn't have to be cleaned. It cleans itself essentially from energies that build up in it. But it might need to be recharged in the sun. I'm not sure. But, you know, that's a good wand for clearing things out, right? And cleaning your other crystals as well. You can clean your crystals with selenite as well by using the wand. Or just gathering them around the selenite tower. So yeah, this might be about making sure you're not tapping into things you don't want to. Things that aren't part of what's best for you and your journey. Now let's get some tarot cards here just to get some clarity. So I'm taking a lot from these. Yeah, Ascension. 6 of Swords. So you're moving on to a new level, right? You're ascending. You're leveling up to a new frequency. But part of that has to come with awareness. Oh my gosh, 3 and 3 make 6. It's just funny how they're lining up like that, isn't it? Maybe 3s. Have you been seeing 3s, like 333? Could be something there. Got the Empress on the bottom. She's very tuned to her abundance. Maybe that's part of what you're seeking is to tap into these energies to create your abundance. But because you're not being focused with it, you're not, and I'm not saying you're not, maybe you're trying that. Maybe this is just confirming that. But I think there is a message here about keeping your focus with it, keeping yourself intentional. Like decide what you're meditating on, decide what you're decide what you want these how do you want these energies to serve you? Like it's like a prayer. Prayers are great because there's a great intention behind it. There's a request. But you should also be aware that, you know, everything has an order, everything has a rhythm, everything has a destiny. And so I always clarify by saying, if it is for the highest and greatest good of all. I'm always aware that my prayers might not get answered, but they're not answered for a reason. It's because something isn't meant for me, or something has to play out in a certain way. You know, there has to be an acceptance about that as well, that, you know, you might not get what you want, or what you want you might not even be aware of yet. Maybe there's a different destiny for you out there. Yeah, Ace of Cups, compassion. You're really tuning into your own frequencies. You're learning how to channel. You're learning how to be in tune with that side of yourself. But, you know, part of that is knowing yourself, right? Maybe you have to be more quiet with yourself, more intentional with your meditations to figure that out for yourself. Yeah, 4 of Wands, success. You're walking through a new door into a new world. And look, you're walking through the door and those are like all your guides cheering you on. You're reaching a new level. And that's why they're calling for focus right now. It's not because you're doing anything wrong. It's because you actually are moving quite fast and doing things right. They just want you to be safe. They want you to be on the right path and not step off of what you want because you get lost in all these energies. That's all it is. Yeah. 10 of Swords, yeah, find it healthy. Ooh, how strange. I got a weird shock through my system too when that happened. Maybe a cycle is going to end and it's going to be really shocking. Like, like things are going to happen fast for you. Like there might be something that even comes up from your past, or maybe, because a lot of times when we ascend, we have to process a shadow, right? We have to process things that are lower energies within us, and when we cleanse from that, that's when we get higher in vibration. And so, this sounds great, right? But then it has to come with this, right? A lot of stepping into light is walking out of the shadow, right? And that's not always easy. So, that might be part of having awareness and slowing down. Maybe it's also just that you're doing all this and they just want you to take it in. Make sure that you're fully processing it all, because it is a lot to deal with. It is a lot to move on from, to move forward with. And so don't be in such a rush to get to your goal that you miss out on the experience. But I really do see that you're ending a tough cycle right now. Yeah. It's the end of your pain. You went through a tough cycle, but the tough cycle taught you to go through that ascension process. It taught you how to overcome. And the Four of Wands, that can deal with, stability and a happy home, and a new place, even like a new house, even. So yeah, I think where you're going, you're gonna find your peace. I don't see any struggle ahead of you. I see only good things. Yeah, good things. I think you might be a bit tired because this seems like it was a tough journey, but I think you're gonna do very well. Just keep your focus, keep your awareness, and make sure you're always feeling good about your decisions. Make sure it's in tune with your heart. Like, this is what lights up your heart. Don't just decide to keep moving forward in the world. Move with intentionality. Move with joy. Follow your joy. Yeah, the threshold. You're right on. Oh my gosh, it's just like him walking through the door. You're right on the threshold of a new life. Yeah, you're almost there. You're just at the end of a tough journey. Oh. Look at how the energy in this reading is so funny. All the tense and dark energies, like the Ten of Swords, the Venom, they're all like jumping out. Maybe it's because they're falling away from your life. Yeah. Yeah, it's like they're just kind of falling away now. The Venom. Yeah. This can be the old darkness, the old thoughts, and your old life that was trying to keep you stuck, trying to keep you back from doing this journey. It's over now. It just flew away, right? That's how it's going to feel. It might feel shocking, actually, how quickly your life changes and how much it improves and how different you feel once this comes into fruition. The Judge. Oh my. Gosh, this card. What a stalker card. Another stalker card. I think this is part of awareness. Like, you got to make a decision about what's good for you. To say no or to say yes. But I think maybe you are at that point where it's coming in, like you've made the right decision. I feel like that motorcycle, the revving was a confirmation. Yeah, you're already stepping onto the path. You're already practically there. I think it's just showing that you know what you want now. You know how to say no, and you know when to say yes. You've learned to have boundaries. You've learned to understand your own boundaries, what feels wrong, because you're in tune with your heart. You know when someone feels wrong for you. You know when something feels right for you. That's what these hand gestures are about. You know how to say no and how to say yes. And your guides are so proud of you for doing that. They're so proud of you for just... because this wasn't easy. I think you had a lot of lessons in life that kind of kept you in a state of always kind of saying yes to things when you didn't want to. There's another horn, a train horn that time. You didn't want to be on that path anymore because it was, look how what it was doing to you. You were exhausted. You were just drained dry. It was too much, and it was a tough journey, but it taught you this. It taught you how to ascend and how to move on and step into the path that is correct for you, and that was the lesson. And you did this through connecting with your higher self. Connecting to your intuition, knowing what was too much for you. Yeah, this is crazy. You did good. Okay, I think I want a butterfly card or two, just to get some confirmation here. Yeah, let's just see. You're definitely transforming like a butterfly here. And I think it's just almost like a good job kind of reading, you know? Like, I don't think there's too much else you got to do other than stay on your path and stay, keep doing what you're doing by being focused and aware. Oh, I think that's a helicopter. There's a lot of noises going on, eh? There was the motorcycle, the train, and now the helicopter. All like different chariots, right? Different objects of movement. I think you're moving really fast. Actually, there's a progression to that, wasn't there? Motorcycle, train, airplane. They all got increasingly more advanced because obviously a train is much more powerful and faster than a motorbike. And then a helicopter can go very far. I think that's sort of like your ascension process. You went step by step going to the next level, to the next level, to the next level. And now it's like you are doing what you never would have imagined before because you kept going, you kept persevering, and you kept listening to your heart. Take the next steps now. So yeah, what's the next step after the helicopter? Is it a spaceship? I don't know. What goes after a helicopter? A fighter jet? I don't know. But I think it's just saying, you know, again, you're at the threshold, so just take the next step out the door and move ahead. Because maybe you're hesitating a little bit because it has been overwhelming. Or maybe you just need to take a break and rest, but I think that you're ready for the next step. Whenever you decide to take the step through the threshold, you're gonna make it. I want to get another card here. That's what you need to do next. Is come to another higher level. All right, we're gonna get one more card here, or is that it? Is it two? It's two? Okay. I kind of want it to be one because it would be easier, but new career. So yeah, you're stepping into a new career for sure. And you need the courage to do that. Maybe you're just hesitating on this next step a little bit. And it's because it's a little scary to step into something new, something that's not guaranteed maybe. But I think you're doing pretty well with everything. Look at how far you've come. Look how much you've conquered. I think no matter what, this is coming in for you. It's an opportunity that's going to come in no matter what. So all you have to do is have the courage to take it. And look, doesn't that match the amethyst so well? The purple. Ooh. Yeah. Courage. Yeah. Have the courage to be you unapologetically. Maybe you're worried what people will say, or if people will give you a hard time about going on something that's not stable or steady. But I think you've learned that it doesn't matter what they think. It only matters what you think. What you think is, I want to take this step. I want to go on this journey. I want to see what I can become, who I can become. I want to see my full potential. And maybe if this is about like spiritual ascension, even not just going into a new career path, you know, it can be a little scary too. Like maybe you're afraid to actually go to the next level. And so part of you is holding back. Part of you doesn't know if you can handle it, but I say you can. You really can. I think you're meant for this. You're ready to take the next step. And maybe that next step is also just because maybe how you're going to communicate light or transmit light into this world is through that career path that you're taking. But you're a little scared, maybe, to take that next step. Because otherwise you wouldn't have courage coming out, right? But I think you really do have courage. I think it's just confirming that you are courageous. I think you don't give yourself the credit that you deserve. I think you do things that are really scary for some people. And you take it in stride. You're kind of like, oh yeah. But it's actually like some people are like, I don't think I could do that. You know, they watch you do it and they're like flabbergasted. So, you know, give yourself some credit that you do things that are really scary sometimes. And channel that and be like, hey, I did this and I did this and I did this. Why can't I do this? Right? Yeah, like I think this new career path is a big step for you, to the extent that it does bring in a little bit of fear, but you're kind of afraid of you're making a mountain out of a molehill here, because what you've conquered in the past is nothing compared to that. This is actually not it is a challenge, but it's something you can definitely overcome because of where you've already been. Look at what you came back from. Like, you can handle that. Going through this dark, toxic environment, like, and learning how to channel the divine so you can overcome and ascend from that is a journey. And so, you know, you can do it. You can, and maybe even you're making a career out of that. Like maybe you're actually learning to use those abilities that you have, that you've gained from all those experiences in the past, and use it as your new career in this life. Because we all have to survive somehow. We all have to, you know, make money or find our abundance in some way. But, you know, our career shouldn't be about just to make money. It should be our passion. It should be our calling. It should be a calling, something you're compelled to do because the world needs it and you feel you are the person to fill that role. That's what a career is. That's what a real career is. So if you don't feel that way about what you're doing now, it's time to step out and to take the next step into something new, something that's more suited, something that you've always wanted to do, that thing you feel compelled to do, even if it doesn't make any sense. That's what you're meant for. Don't judge it. Yeah, don't judge your path or your job or anything like that that you're walking into in terms of what the world thinks. It only matters what you think and how it resonates with you. If it makes sense to you, which won't make sense to anybody else, that's okay. It's your life. You're supposed to live it, not anybody else. So I'm being called to get one moon card. So I guess we're gonna do a moon card. I feel like this reading's almost done, so let's see. Maybe there's just one final message here. It needs to come out. Ooh. I'm causing an avalanche with all my boxes and decks. There we go. Let's see here. I've got a funny setup here. I just have a bunch of chairs with all my decks, and yeah, I have like one table that I use for everything. But someday I'm going to have like a nice little spot where I can just keep everything set up and it won't be so disorganized. And everything comes with time when it's ready. Here's the card. You're very close to achieving your goals. I mean, kind of just reiterates what we talked about, but yeah, Gibbous Moon, you're almost full. Don't stop now, because the opportunity is right around the corner for you. Oh, no candle went out. That's kind of like finality, right? Something's ending. Something's coming to a close. The door is almost there. Like you're almost at the door. You're practically, you're like in the doorway now, stepping out. Yeah. Maybe you should look up at the moon. Meditate on the moon with your crystals. Sounds very witchy, but you know what? It's powerful. I think just staring at a moon can be powerful, especially the full moon. I don't know if we have a full moon coming up or what sign it's in or what kind of moon it is. Maybe it's the beaver moon or the cold moon. No, cold moon's in January. Some moon's happening now. I know we had a hunter's moon recently. But sometimes the sign that a moon is in when it's full or a new moon can be really powerful. But we can't really see a new moon, so usually we just stare at the full moon. But yeah, sometimes significant things have happened to me when in a certain sign, you know, I think there was like a full moon in Scorpio was a powerful one for me at one point. Yeah, it's funny how things can line up with the events in our life. So maybe you should take a look at the moon when it's full next. Actually, let me think. I could probably figure it out because the moon is halfway full right now. It's a quarter moon. And so in 2 weeks-ish, we'll be in November. Oh my gosh, it is a full moon in Scorpio. That's next. I just brought that up as an example, but it is a full moon in Scorpio next, so maybe that's going to be a significant moon for you. Yeah, maybe just stare up at the moon. Drive out somewhere where there's no lights around and things like that, so you can really see it. Like go to a beach or the woods or something. And just, yeah, look up at the moon, because sometimes the moon can transfer energies to us or give us a chance even just to meditate on our past so far and think about our life and think about what's next for us. Yeah. Give it a shot. You never know. Where do you want to go, moon? Where does the moon want to go? We'll just put it right here. Over the judgment. Yeah. Reserve judgments and stare up at the moon and ask your heart what it wants. Know that you have the courage. Yeah. All right, I think that's the end of this reading. Unless there's any more messages. Yeah, I'm gonna get, actually, I thought it was the end of the reading, but apparently not. I keep trying to end it. Maybe that's something for you too. Maybe you're trying to end a cycle, but something keeps, there's still something else to be worked through. And that's why you're not quite through the threshold yet. You're not quite finished. There's just one last piece. And maybe meditating on the moon will help you find that one last piece. Thinking about those things. I'm going to have one last message here. Offerings. Yeah, devotion in exchange for your presence. Here I am gifting my essence. Yeah, maybe there's one more offer for you. One more last message from the divine, from spirit, from these spirits of your ancestors who want to help you. One last piece of understanding before you move on to this new life. Perseverance, here we go. And poinsettia. Interesting. Stay in thy power, dear child, for thee lonely is never alone. When the world is dreadful upon thee, turn to the spirits within thee. Yeah, turn to the spirits. Turn to your angels and ancestors and your guides. And look, there's the moon. Maybe that's you. You're figuring out the last piece of the puzzle by persevering, not giving up. Gosh, things are getting a little chaotic, but you know, that's life, right? Cast the shadows, scream silence at them. Dear witch, what lurks inside transforms into the most beautiful of beauties. Yeah. What lurks inside you? What's waiting inside you? I'm really seeing something about these red candles, the poinsettia, and then the red apples. There's something about that. Stay in your power. Cast the shadows. Scream silence in them. I don't think I was supposed to take the poinsettia card. But, you know, there's an interesting, something interesting about it here. She's very dark here and she's very light, dressed in white. It's like the colors have inversed. Maybe it's taking yourself out of the cold and into the warmth. Yeah. You're never alone in this. You don't have to feel alone. If there's things that are holding you back, this is their offering, that they can be there to support you, to help you along, to bring you to that place of warmth. What lurks inside transforms into the most beautiful of beauties. You're learning to transform that sorrow into joy. And that's what your path is going to bring you to. You're almost there. You just have to persevere a little longer. Take the offering. Take a chance on yourself. And you will make it. All right, I think that's the end of the reading. This was a little, yeah, it kind of got to be a little clustered, but I think, you know, the message is clear. That you're being offered a chance to change your life. And you should definitely take it. You should definitely try and move forward. Because I think it's going to work out for you. I think it's going to work out just fine. Yeah. It's sort of about, this was the betrayal and the setbacks and the darkness, right? But it's being brought into the light. Because you have something to offer the world. You have something to bring that no one else can. You can bring people that understanding of themselves through your own journey. Yeah, because there's beauty in your darkness. That's what your power is. That's what your strength is. And that's how you're going to move into this new career, is changing your darkness and your failings into successes. Into your, it's going to become your success story, not your story of sorrow. That's not what, you know, the universe has planned for you. It's something much greater, something much more powerful. You're going to bring sweetness to the world in your own special way. You're going to pick up what was lost and what was you thought you were tossed out in the cold from, and bring it to the world. Yeah. She's got a crown here. She's crowned. She's found her light. Yeah. Just keep yourself on the path. Keep doing what you're doing. And know that you have the ability to do it, the courage to do it. You have the qualifications. So keep it up. All right, I'm not getting much more now, so I think that's definitely the end. And thank you for sticking with it and staying to the end. If you like the readings in this channel, you can subscribe, leave a like and a comment, or a like or a comment, if you so choose. Yeah, I like hearing about how it resonates, and make sure you take care of yourself on this wonderful new journey, because I think you're gonna be very surprised at what the universe has to offer you. All right, take care.